Hey, my name is Bradley. I'm here to show you the next generation Quik-Lok Power Head. Now, the first generation, the previous one we've had in the market, has been extremely successful, and we've got more than 1.5 million in the field right now. But through a ton of research with professional landscapers, we've seen that they want to continuously push that system harder and harder. And we've taken that as a challenge to redesign from the ground up with a more powerful motor, advanced air cooling system, and cutting edge electronics to take advantage of everything that Forge batteries have to offer. So what that means to you, the user, is a 30% increase in power and better thermal capabilities to do those more demanding applications for longer. And we've got this really cool demo here to showcase that. We've got the current generation power head that's in the field today, and the next generation power head right here. And on the screen, we're graphing RPM. We're gonna spin them both up to their same max RPM. And then these brakes are going to apply a really significant load to both power heads at the same time. And you're going to see that the current power head is going to slow down and bog, whereas the next generation power head doesn't miss a beat.
Okay.
So that's a great example of the increased performance, even on your existing attachments that we have with this next power head. And then it also opens the door for some really cool power head, or some really cool attachments that we have coming down the line. Yeah, so I'd love to show you the inside. Yep. So this is our new power head. This is the existing one. And we've got some really cool things to highlight on the inside here. Like I mentioned, it's a ground up redesign. So even from the motor mount where the motor connects to the drive shaft, even that is different, right? So the blue section right here, you can see on the new power head, way more connection points, way more screws holding it on to the drive shaft. Next, and really important, is that air cooling system that I talked about, which is highlighted in the orange here. And you can see that we pull in air from the back, these vents, circulate it through the electronic components right here, and then through the motor, and then out this exhaust port on the bottom. Whereas on the old power head, there is some air system, there is a fan, but it's way less intentional. The other thing to highlight is the electronics that I mentioned. So look at the biggest wire you can find in here.
Yeah, that ribbon wire there?
Yep, and then compare that to the big wires you got in here. Not even close, right? So much beefier wires and electronical components here to be able to pull all that power from a Forge battery and put it through the system.
Are there any new attachments since
January?
Yeah.
So we had the ones in January that you might be familiar with already, like the cultivator, the reciprocator.
Yeah.
Yep, so no new attachments today beyond those that were in January.
Okay.
But like I said, this new power head gives you a lot better performance in those demanding jobs with your existing attachments.
Yeah. Which one would you say is the most demanding of the power
Yeah,
heads?
that's an interesting question because it depends on the demand in the moment and then also throughout the duty cycle of the tool. So a string trimmer is a really commonly used tool that goes through a tough duty cycle, just being non-stop used all day.
Yeah.
And then you've got things like the bed edger, the bed redefiner, that moves a ton of dirt really aggressively to cut a ring around your garden bed or your trees, for example. So both of those pull a lot of power in a lot of different ways.
I always thought the hedge trimmer was really demanding, but I've heard that it's actually not as demanding as you might think.
Yeah, in terms of how much power it requires from the motor, hedge trimmers are actually on the lower end because they've got those really sharp blades that are just slicing through branches. So something like a bed redefiner where you've got a blunt edge that's pulling through a lot of dirt.
Yeah, especially if like some tough clay soil.
Oh yeah.
Then you're really gonna
put
it to the test.
Absolutely.
Is it meant mostly to like redefine it?
Yeah, it's like either starting a new garden bed or redefining one that's been really overgrown. So think of it similar to how a regular edger is used along a sidewalk, except you're taking out a bigger amount of grass or a bigger amount of dirt to make a nice clean definition between where your mulch is going to go and where your grass is going to go.
Okay.
Right, so this is a really great example of some overgrown area, really thick clay, and we're just going to cut that new edge around the tree.
Okay.
There you go. And then you blow that out, throw down your mulch, and you've got a really nice tree ring.
All right, cool.